This is Chaos Theory by necauqua. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you for
Uh,
joining on the stream.
yeah, thank you for accepting me as well. So you were asking what kind of engine it is, and it's just a huge HTML5 canvas that I draw on from Rust using WebAssembly. This is very uh, interesting way of doing things, I guess.
Here, I'm just going to boost your audio a little bit. So you're saying you're drawing on an HTML canvas with Rust?
Yes, through WebAssembly.
Nice. Oh wow, that's I haven't heard of WebAssembly before. I have heard of Rust. Um, nice. So where did you get the idea to make a game like this? This is really like
So
unfamiliar to me.
yeah, first thing that I thought when I heard that the theme is unstable is like inverted dumbbell pendulum, which is like,
Mm,
chaotic and all.
yeah.
Uh, so this is a little in-game tutorial, which, oh
Mhm.
yeah, I see you do it. Uh, so I can do any art whatsoever at all. That's why all my art is program art, which is lines and circles, as you can see.
Mhm.
And I participated in one Ludum Dare before, exactly a
Mhm.
year ago in 47.1. And I had basically kind of the same game, with circles and lines, except with appropriate theme. But it was very confusing to a lot of people. Nobody understood how to play it because
Mhm.
I made kind of a lore, quote unquote, where I kind of explained that there are energy levels that you have to breach or whatever. Nobody understood it. So this time I made a tutorial which is very straightforward. As you can see, it tells you exactly what to do and what is the objective, and also key bins. So yeah, the game is really, really, really simple because I spent way too little time on it. I don't know, you can probably hear from my voice. I actually am kind of sick, uh, slightly, so that's my excuse, I guess.
I'm sorry to hear
Uh,
that.
no, it's fine. Except, yeah, I barely could force myself to work on it. So yeah, I kind of did a little introduction on myself, I guess. So I don't know what to talk about next. Ask me questions, please.
Yeah, sure. So what is the development process? What sort of what is the development IDE that you're actually using to build this?
Well, so I'm using just IntelliJ IDEA, which is what I use basically for everything, and it can be used for Rust. Uh, and then I do, let me phrase it. I do a little set. I have a little build setup where it gets compiled into WebAssembly and put into a little package and gets packaged, and I copy it to my web server and serve it directly. As you can see, you were
Mhm.
surprised that I didn't use an engine, but yeah, that's just a JavaScript canvas, except instead of JavaScript, I use Rust. That's like um, the whole deal. But yeah, there is no game engine,
Mhm.
except I just draw lines, and also the physics, which, as you can see, I have a little pendulum going on. I also completely wrote an algorithm to simulate it. It's like a basic rope algorithm. So the pendulum is just a rope with long chain links. And also, a few people, sorry for the cat, uh, a few people found a way to cheese the game.
Mhm.
So you can just click like a few hundred times in the same place and spawn like a few
Oh.
hundred points, and it gets crazy. It gets all over the screen. Yes.
Well, I think I found my own slightly more creative way of cheesing the game. You might be able to see. I realized that by sort of spawning a point that is like directly above the origin, it more often than not ends up falling down into the beginning.
Well, it fell down into the beginning, but it also has to fall through this little circle to the side.
Yes, yes, I'm missing that one, but I just realized that at least it's an easy way to clear the first few challenges.
Actually,
Um,
there are only 5 levels, because
okay.
and this one is like the third one. Uh, all of them, little hint, all of them can be solved with just one level of the pendulum, however you call it.
Interesting.
Yes. And also another hint, yeah, I'm just talking about how good my tutorial is, but now I give hints. So this little circle that shows up when you draw the
Mhm.
pendulum, it's very helpful because you can do, like a Euclidean geometry. You can do, you can have sticks of the same length uh, as the one. And that was actually I just told you how this level is solved as well. Because yeah. Oh, and another hint, which is not really a hint, but more like a um, interesting feature,
Mhm.
is you can press R to soft reset, as I call it.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's chaos. So it moves differently every time. So if you drew something like this, actually, yeah,
Mhm.
you win. You can just retry it a few dozen times, and at some point you will win.
Yeah.
Um,
So I guess what inspired you to make a game based off of these double pendulums?
uh, Actually, probably I don't. I think I said it. Yeah. So the first thing I immediately thought about when I knew that the theme is unstable
Mhm.
is double pendulum chaos, and I'm like,
Sorry, you did say that. I just meant like do you have a particular like mathematical fascination with double pendulums or like
no, no. So I uh, sorry for the cat again.
it's okay.
Um, so I just went basically with the first ideas that went into my head. That's kind of my approach with Slow Them Dare because I'm not very creative. At least that's what I think.
Hmm.
Uh, so kind of okay. Actually, if I open, I have a little LD49 concepts. Except I can't open it for what reason exactly? Because I have it already open. Sorry. So the first thing that came into my mind, inverted pendulums, then stacking boxes, which is boring, then something with quantum particles and stability for some reason, then
Hmm.
unstable connection, which is actually like the previous game with the servers, unstable connection, and then someone in my Discord suggested glitching bugs. I don't know, just make a default platformer and have random events happen or something.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I had a few ideas, but only one that kind of I knew that I can do
Hmm.
is the first one with double pendulums.
Right.
And I
Okay.
and I just recently, relatively recently, heard about the algorithm for ropes. Uh, uh, so I'm like, oh, I can kind of reuse the rope algorithm for pendulums, although it's kind of, I see in the chat someone says movement looks unnatural. Yeah, it looks unnatural because it's an algorithm for ropes, not for pendulums. um, so whenever you finish, this is uh, fourth level. So you can actually try to draw like an actual rope. It works beautifully at like, you know what, same number of points. But if you get crazy, it as I said, it glitches out.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but also ropes do not help to solve the to solve the
Not this
puzzle.
one.
Any of them. um, but yeah, so something like this, the ones that you're building right now. As I said, I'll kind of repeat. You just retry it 10 times.
Hmm.
Uh, if it hits like the first one, it will probably hit the last one after some retries. So
Yeah.
actually, interesting point. Um, when I first did this, every retry was identical because, well,
Mhm.
an
Yeah,
algorithm with completely
deterministic.
deterministic, entirely identical inputs. Unlike the real world, this is
Mhm.
why I have to add a little 0.1 pixel jiggle uh, each time you rerun it. So,
Mhm.
and because it's kind of double pendulum, it has this chaotic behavior. Even with zero point 0.1 pixel, it's completely different. Well, on this
Right.
level, it doesn't look that different. Uh, but yeah, at some points, it's diverges very fast. Uh,
Yeah, I would love to see a version of this where it actually like runs a whole bunch of simulations all at once.
oh, that's actually a very interesting idea that I never heard before. Ha! Yeah, I completely understand what you're talking about, and this is actually sounds really cool.
I
Because
just
yeah,
figure,
retrying
yeah,
it
like
10 times.
it would give you a better sense of what the possibility space is for the shape you've constructed, and that way you don't have to run it manually a whole bunch of times. You just get a sense of like, oh, okay, maybe this will work. Like,
Yeah,
um,
I heard some criticisms from like friends that it's a way too luck based,
mhm,
so to speak. So actually, a little hint from like actual experience in playing this level,
yeah,
you're making this second stick way too long. So
okay,
the angle is fine, but it should be shorter. Like actually, yeah, and it won't necessarily turn the right direction
mm,
at first. Oh, this one is perfect, probably. Except you would have to, of course, retry it.
yeah. All right, well,
Oh,
let's
oh, oh,
see.
oh. You almost, oh, you retried.
Yeah, well, it didn't look like it was. Well, once it's sort of like settled towards the bottom, it doesn't look very likely that it's actually going to. Because the thing about an actual unstable pendulum is that there is a surprising amount of motion that is preserved, and even like where I'm seeing it right now, I
Yes.
don't think it's likely to actually ever go any higher than than where it is. Um,
Well,
so.
actually, you said that, and yes, I was kind of expecting something like this to happen, but it didn't, and probably because of the rope algorithms that I chose. But it
Mhm.
still kind of checks out, I guess.
There we
Oh,
go.
this run looks. Yeah,
Yeah,
you won
we got
finally.
it. Okay.
Okay, so not to waste too much time on this last level because I
Mhm.
kind of added it literally last second. So gravity is diagonal
Oh.
in this one. Uh, and it's actually when to answer someone in the chat, yes, it is. uh, so once you know the gravity, yeah, what you did, it's almost enough to win, except stick probably should be shorter. Yeah, I kind of told you how to play the game.
Yeah, that's okay. There we go.
um, yeah,
And
and actually, so I was saying that a few people from my Discord found a way to cheese it, and they got like crazy 100 bonus points.
mhm,
But without cheesing it, there are interesting like pendulum configurations, and
mhm,
you kind of saw one of them just now in the last level, where it kind of can bounce in and out for a few times, and I got like +5 without cheesing it.
mhm.
And that was actually I suppose it always happens in like game development, but you make something playable and then you just play it for an hour. So I actually spent a lot of time just playing with pendulums whenever it was kind of uh, playable, as I said.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting also to maybe have like a scoring mechanism where it um, takes a look at the fact that you've like how many pendulums did you use to complete the level, and like you can give people like a star rating and say like,
Yes. So actually, there are no scores, there are
mhm,
no menus, there are not a lot of things because as I was saying at the beginning, I have a little excuse.
Oh, of
I
course. You
didn't
didn't have much time. Yeah.
I didn't work on it for too long. It was planned. Uh, Actually, about what's planned, I kind of uh, answered the question before you would ask me.
Yeah.
Um, so one thing that I'm planning for sure, is level editor.
Hmm.
Uh, because I am not making 100 levels, but I know a few people who are making 100 levels of these games that I made.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and this game, it's like uh, if you fix, of course, like
Hmm.
weird physics, and probably your suggestion is absolutely fire about multi simulation. If you do all of that, uh, the game is actually very playable. It's like sorry, I'm trying to remember what I wanted to say. Hyper casual, or
Hmm.
is that the word? So
Yeah,
it's
I
like
think I've heard, yeah, people refer to
so
something as.
games with like very simple premise, but like 500 levels.
Hmm.
So this very much looks like one of such games, except I'm not making 500 levels as I just said.
Hmm.
um, yes,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you can simplify the level, like, because the amount of information that's here is really minimal, so I can almost imagine it, like, you could contain the entire level code in the URL, so people could just share a URL and like load into a level for this game.
yes, this is another. You're just giving me fire idea after fire idea. Yes, I kind of, as I said, I wasn't didn't finish a lot of things, but I had planned. So I have the code in place to load levels from JSON because, as I
Hmm.
said, level editor. So that's actually almost done, so to speak.
Well, the reason I make this suggestion in the first place is because that it's actually something that I had done. I back with this old project, I made it so you could make these like lunar lander levels and then share them just with a code that is um, built out in the URL. So yeah,
Yes,
it
sharing like in-place data in URL is actually it's a very cool concept for this
yeah.
game and for others. Actually, totally out of context of the conversation, I did a
Mm-hmm.
little uh, HTML thing
Mm-hmm.
where the data URLs where you can just put HTML into the URL. So a tiny little HTML content editable notepad,
Mm-hmm.
and it stores the data that you typed into it into the URL. So you can just store the URL as a bookmark, and you open it, and it's not only the notepad, which is slightly functional. It's
Mm-hmm.
also have data stored in it. You just
Yeah.
completely reminded me about that. Sorry.
That's very funny though. So it's fundamentally a program that is running out of the URL, but also storing its own data in the URL. So you just have everything built into that, just that one URL.
Yes, you just have a bookmark that
Yeah,
you created, and you open it, and it's completely
it's the
yes.
program and the data just all in the URL bar. That's very funny. Um, all right. Well, I think we're going to start to wrap things up there with this game. So where can people find you, and are there any other projects you want to draw their attention to?
Yes, so my username absolutely everywhere is the same.
Hmm.
And actually, let me. Yeah, so I shared my little website where there are all the links.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, is
and
that? I think there might be a typo in that.
yes, there is. I am very.
Yeah. I hope you feel better soon. And yeah. Okay. Cool. So we got the. Make sure to share Twitter URL as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All
So,
right.
yeah, that was very interesting. I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on the call, and please feel free to submit any of your future games to me as well.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Um, bye, I guess.
Yeah, bye bye.